Okay, so this is Strat 2B. Now, as you can see, you see Strat 2C here. What is Strat 2C? Okay, we talked about Strat 2A, full range, Strat 2B. When there's a bias, we're only looking for entry in one direction. Strat 2C, what is that? It's counter trend. It's a real quick in, quick out. Strat 2C is a strategy in which we will look to capitalize quickly at significant area of historical sensitivity, even if it's counter trend. As these entries are counter trend, we will look for quick ins, quick outs, roughly 10 to 15 pips to avoid a very real possibility of a change in direction. Strat 2C is the riskiest between all three subsections of Strat 2, and this requires the most attention and trade management when we are in a live entry. This is not going to be an entry for those of you that want to be on the charts once a day, okay? Strat 2C capitalizes on impulse moves at area sensitivity, even if it's counter trend, as long as there is a clear historical respect at that sensitivity. Okay, so we're going to use the same sort of charts, right? Here we have Strat 2B, right? Push breaking former resistance by BLO at support. Let's talk about Strat 2C. Now, there still is a high probability chance to grab 10 to 15 pips, depending on the pair, at area of sensitivity. Think about this. When price makes a push and reaches our daily zone, again, what's happening here? We talked about this. Take profits are being taken. SLs are being taken above. All right. Limit orders are being executed. Market orders, stop orders are being executed. Even though fundamental direction is to the upside, we still have impulse moves to the downside. Now, sometimes these impulse moves are long. As you can see here, we have a significant move to the downside. And sometimes when they're counter trend, they're short. So as you can see, this is the potential risk. Sometimes they're good impulses, and sometimes they're short impulses. But either way, there is money to be made at contact. So let's talk about, okay, contact 2, for example. So contact 1, we see prices making its way to our significant historical daily zone. We place a sell limit order for Strat 2C, but since we're against the trend, we're doing a quick in, quick out. So it moves 10 pips, boom, we're gone. We're out of the trade here. All right, price makes its way to the downside and we start to make our way back to area of significance. We place another SLO for Strat 2C and boom, we get out, but we got out again at 10 pips, but at the right time, or 10, 15 pips, but at the right time, because as you can see, fundamentals retested because fundamental support is to the upside. So we have to be aware that it may not make a full move, but it could make a small impulse move before retesting to the upside. That's the danger of Strat 2C. That's why we're looking for quick and quick outs. So Strat 2C on the lower time frame. Okay, we're going to take it to this second touch, lower time frame. So we know price is now making a push, making its way again to its daily zone. We know again, what do we know about the daily zone? Historically identified as a significant area of sensitivity. We know also what? That at previous contact, okay, there was a significant move to the downside, again, confirming at last contact that there's sensitivity, okay? We see a strong move to the downside, so it's not necessarily, this move back to the upside is not necessarily an impulse and retest, okay? So we say, okay, this is a good opportunity, Strat 2C, quick in, quick out, grab 10, 15 pips, we're out of there, all right? So what do? We place a sell limit order, and it will be sharp. Our limit orders are going to be sharp. It's not just going to be somewhere in between the zones, okay? It will be a sharp limit order, just a straight line. If it's blue, it means buy limit order. If it's red, it means sell limit order, okay? Sell limit order, boom, here's 10 pips, as you can see. Impulse move, why? What happened? SLs, TPs, limit orders, market orders, stop orders at this level of significance. This is a battle between sellers and buyers, okay? And even if fundamental direction is to the upside, we know that there's impulse moves off levels of significance, but we cannot be in the trade for too long because we know that there will be a change in direction. So boom, quick grabs, 10 pips, you know, and because of the value per pip, because the SL will be tighter than, of course, strategy 1, this will be a nice little grab, and then we're out, okay? 10, 15 pips, depends on the pair, and we're out. We're not trying to hold it. We're not dragging our SL, 10, 15 pips. We grab our pips, and we're out, okay? So this is counter trend, Okay, we'll get to the entry checklist in a second. Okay, so let's review for a sec. Strat 2A, fundamentals are flat. We're looking for an Strat 2A. What are the two most important things, Strat 2A? In between two significant demand zones, not a 1/8 zone or a 15-minute zone, and fundamentals are flat. We look for the full range at take profit at consolidation. Okay, full range, both buy pressure, both sell limit orders and buy limit orders. Strat 2B, we have bias, in this case, bias to the upside. So we're only looking for buy limit orders to the upside. And yes, in this case, we could use Strat 2C. We'll get to that in a second. Strat 2C, quick in, quick outs. Counter trend, quick in, quick outs. Very important that you have to be in front of the charts if you're going to enter Strat 2C. We'll get to that in a sec as well. Now, I want to go to Strat 2B for a minute. Okay, Strat 2B, there we go. As you can see, what? We know that the trend bias is to the upside. So here, Strat 2C, 10 pips, 10, 15 pips, done. 10, 15 pips, done. Okay, we see another test to the upside. Why would we not enter SLO here, even though there would have been a 10, 15 pips? Because this is not a significant move to the downside. This is clearly an impulse move, meaning that once we see price fail to make its way to area of sensitivity, we know that this is a retest and a price is trying to break to the upside. So at this point, we try not to enter. Okay, so this is where it comes from me, from experience and whatnot. But Strat 2C, contact, 10 pips. Contact, counter trend, 10 pips. Strat 2B, why? BLO with the direction of bias. Okay, and then again, Strat 2A, we have full buys and sells at full range of consolidation. Okay, now let's go through entry checklist.